so eager to tell you about the Pirates today that he picked up before the phone even got through the first ring. Joe, good morning.
Well, good morning, Todd. What else am I doing right now than waiting for you to call me and so that we can talk about a little Bucco baseball on a Friday? Why not?
Well, there you go. Hey, we're getting really late into spring training now. Last week, of course, Michael A. Taylor is signed by the Pirates, and he makes it his first appearance of the spring yesterday. McCutchen plays in the field. Bednar pitches yesterday. Guys are really starting to tune in, aren't they?
Yeah, once it all comes together right here in the final few days, all the worries start to alleviate in terms of, will Bednar be healthy enough to pitch? He's in there. And relief pitchers, they don't need a lot of work. So he's ready to go. McCutchen, is he going to be a DH only this year? Well, we saw him in the field yesterday. He looked fine. Certainly can play out there if the Pirates want him and need him out there. And then Michael A. Taylor signing late in spring training. Would he be ready for the regular season? Derek Shelton says yes. And we also see him in his first spring training game. So he should be in that lineup when the Pirates open up Thursday in Miami.
You know, we're getting to the point where teams are going to be letting some fellas go that maybe the Pirates have had their eyes on. And particularly teams look for bullpen help when you get late into spring training, because some fellas get out there that maybe have had not the best spring. Maybe they're coming off a down year and they just get beat out by their teams. But the Pirates are pretty strong in the bullpen right now heading into this season. I'm sure that they wouldn't mind adding another pitcher, but they've got some pretty good arms there.
Yeah, and it looks like that should be a strength, although they've had a few injuries. Dalry Moretta undergoing Tommy John surgery a couple days ago, so he'll miss the season. He was really, really effective, second on the team among relievers and strikeouts last year, even though he was in the minor leagues for a month. One of the better slider strikeout guys in baseball last year. And then Carmen Mlodzinski right now has been on the sidelines for the last week and a half with a minor forearm strain. That never sounds like a good thing, but hopefully it's just minor, and hopefully it's just precautionary and they keep him out. But he hasn't pitched in a while. So those are two of the more important pieces of that bullpen. One that'll definitely be lost for the season, and one right now that's on the sideline. So that does ding it a little bit. But we saw Ryan Baracki last night, who was a great find for the Pirates, so really just picked up off the scrap heap. And he pitched excellently, left-hander out of the Pirates' pen last year. He came in the game yesterday, struck out 3 Toronto Blue Jays, then dusted his hands and said that's the end of the day. So Bednar looked like Bednar yesterday. Of course, they've got Aroldis Chapman, and then that's in addition to Colin Holderman, who's also been sidelined with illness. It's nothing arm-related or anything like that. The Pirates had a bug going through the clubhouse, but he should be back soon and getting back into action. So the Pirates do have a bullpen that they feel is definitely going to be one of their strengths this season.
And they've got guys down in the minors, too, that have major league experience. Carmen Mlodzinski is a guy that I've always been a fan of ever since they drafted him. He's got all kinds of skill and so many different pitches, and he's a bulldog on the mound.
Yeah, I like that. Guys that are bulldogs, guys you can tell they got guts, and everyone that gets out on a big league mound is talented. Everybody has a certain level of competitive drive, but there are others that have it in overdrive, and Mlodzinski is definitely one of those guys. And seeing him come in that game on September 23rd last year, the Pirates game that they were down 9-0 early, had battled back, and then they were short a couple of relievers, so Mlodzinski ends up getting the ball in the ninth for an opportunity for his first major league save in a game like that. And he had a 2-run lead. He gave up a run and stranded the tying run at third and secured that win, which was the largest come-from-behind win in Pirates National League history, dating back to 1887. So you think about the magnitude of that game, even though the Pirates weren't in the pennant race, it had that kind of feel that particular night, and Mlodzinski was able to rise to the occasion. And that told me a lot about his makeup, his ability, and so hopefully he'll be a big part of the Pirates going forward.
Absolutely. All right, we need to get into the really important stuff of spring training, and it's Joe Block's favorite things to do in cities around the National League. You're going to Miami next week. When you get to Miami, is there a place, a restaurant, a park you want to visit, a thing that you do in Miami when you get there? Or you just hang around the hotel?
Well, I try to get out. It depends on the timing, because if we go to a city for 3 days and we've got 3 games, there isn't a lot of time outside of that. Now, fortunately, we start the season down there, and so the Pirates will depart here Monday and head down there. So there'll be several days. So I plan on going to the Everglades. I've never been. I like the national parks, and so that will be on the docket. And then also, I really like Cuban food, so there's obviously a good selection of that in Miami. So I'll try to find a couple places, probably near the ballpark in the Little Havana neighborhood. I have to brush up on my Spanish, so in order to get the finest fare, so I'll do that. But to try to get a feel for the town each place we go through the year. Sometimes there just isn't enough time to do that, but when there is, I'd like to get out and do that, because I think that also helps me get in the mindset of being there, and then that comes across, I think, over the year too, a little bit more, rather than just saying this is a game and it could be anywhere.
Yeah. Is there a city or two in the National League, actually, since you play interleague ball, anywhere in the majors, that folks will be surprised that it's really a gem? I know people talk about Milwaukee all the time as being a beautiful place with great food and good people, and so Milwaukee is one of those hidden gems. Are there others?
That's the one I was going to mention. I mean, and I'm biased because I got to live there for 4 years and worked there for the Brewers years ago. And but going back to visit, it's really fun, because I think about it when I'm a football fan, hockey fan. I like going to NFL games or NHL games in other cities sometimes too, in addition to Pittsburgh, and see how they do it. And see, some places are more fun than others. Well, when you go to a baseball game in Milwaukee, the ballpark, it's just a dome. It's nothing really great if you just look at the ballpark. I mean, PNC Park is leagues beyond it. But when you go there, they tailgate outside and in these big, expansive parking lots. That's something different and fun. Mm-hmm. We've tailgated for a Steeler game or whatnot, but it's a different feeling for a baseball game. So that's a cool part of it. And then the city itself, the town itself, it's smaller. It's one of the smaller. I think it might be the smallest in baseball. And so it's really easy to get around. You go to Boston, Fenway Park is extraordinary. Old park, grand old park, really cool experience. You try to get around Boston, I don't care if you got GPS or not, it's really difficult. So, and expensive, So Milwaukee, very reasonably priced, good folks, easy to get around, and you can get in and out of the ballpark really easily with the big parking lots. And maybe even someone will share a bottle of beer with you.
There you go. Joe Block with us here this morning on Indiana in the Morning. Joe, the Pirates are playing tonight against the Orioles, and Jared Jones pitching again. Are you doing the game?
Yeah, I'm working tonight with Matt Capps. The reason I hesitated is because rain is in the forecast all day today, but you know how it goes in Florida. It's just like anywhere else, it could change. So we'll see if they can play, but they definitely want to get another look at Jared Jones tonight.
Why not? I mean, I know that everybody's impressed by him just by looking at the numbers, and he looks like a major league pitcher when he's out there. And they're talking about him as a possibility for the rotation. Any hints from management down there?
No hints, but I mean, the fact that he's pitching, on turn, starting this late in spring training, tells me that they have him in mind. For that. That's certainly not been ruled out. It has to be. Usually if they didn't have that notion, they would have been sent out by now, or certainly relegated to kind of the second half of the game. But the fact that he's the marquee number and he's going to let management know, I'm going to go as many innings as you guys see fit, that's a little bit different tale. So he hasn't allowed an earned run in the spring. Sometimes those things can lie to you. Okay, well, it's just spring training numbers. But when you watch him pitch, he's facing his last time around Saturday against the Braves. He's facing probably the top lineup in baseball, and they had 7 of their 9 regulars in there. So this is a very good lineup. Late in spring training, these guys are tuned up, ready to go. And he pitched his 4 shutout innings and struck out 4 against the Braves. So he's facing top competition. He's throwing 100 miles an hour. He's throwing strikes for the most part, wipeout slider, great curveball. I mean, it's really the whole package, and he's 22 years old. He would have been out of college last year in the draft. The Pirates got him out of high school 3 years ago.
It's going to be fun to watch the Jared Jones story, whether it's developing this year or next. It's always going to be an exciting thing to learn when he's taken the mound. And he's not the guy that most people were talking about when spring training opened. It was Skeens, and all Skeens.
No doubt. And Skeens, same thing. I mean, he did get drafted out of college last year. It just shows you how far Jones has come. Certainly a guy that we've liked wanting to watch, but I don't think anybody had him penciled in, let alone penned in, for a rotation spot to start the season. But if he pitches well again tonight, I think the Pirates have no choice. They got to go north with him, and I think that would be a great showing to the fans too. That the Pirates are committed to winning. They're going to take the best guys going forward.
It's a beautiful thing. Joe Block with us this morning. Joe, we'll catch up with you one more time come Monday. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, you too, Todd. Thanks again.
There is Joe Block of the Pittsburgh Pirates, brought to us this morning by Delaney and Fritz PC and by A&A Construction.